Yeah, because you could keep modifying the description longer and longer, but you only get 496 tokens for this version. And I'll tell you, if you go over 2,000 tokens, she loses her goddamn mind. So, um, faking it will be a little bit easier. Just injecting it into the context will probably be easier than trying to like make a description that contains everything, right? Because there are ways where you can will essentially just inject. So the idea is to have a short-term memory, a long-term memory, and a search engine, right? So short-term memory is the conversation that's going on, right? So she'll save five questions and responses into an array of objects, and then when it gets to five, we'll feed it to a summary. We'll feed it back to our LLM with a different prompt that's basically, "Hey, summarize this for me." And then if that is successful, we'll store that in long-term memory, and we'll clear out short-term memory on next prompt. So short-term memory will reset to an array of one object, and then long-term memory will have it stored. And then once we get to 5 long-term memories, we'll then have the summary summarize that, reset long-term memory to one object, and then do the same thing. And we'll just kind of do that over and over again. And then if they ask a question that the search engine knows, we'll just skip that whole step. Other than adding it to short-term memory, we just won't prompt her from there. We'll just play the file from the database, or the path to the file from the database. The files will probably be stored somewhere in here, or like right outside of it. Yum num num num. Delicious, delicious water. So the next step, we are here. All right, I'm gonna take like a 1-minute break, and then I will be right back. Yeah. Ugh. All right. Yeah. Let me get settled back in. Should probably take my hoodie off. It's getting toasty in here. Yeah, so the next step's gonna be actually setting up the prompting. I'm just a little torn on how I want to approach it. Because we're gonna need to spin up one more child process. Actually, no. Actually. Alright. I know what to do, I think. Alright. So, there's another type of child process. And that's what we're gonna do next. I'm kind of cheating. I'm kind of copy and pasting from previous stuff. Because it's easier. Because I don't want to relearn I don't want to relearn. I'll explain what it does, but I don't feel like relearning by typing everything out again. Once I figure out where it is. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, my design is correct. Alright. So, inside of a process, or in a child process, which we're currently in, we can have a child process.spawn function. Alright, let's grab this. And this is where we'll kind of have to play with it, because I have a bunch of error handling in this one already. But I don't want to do that yet. So we're just gonna set up the essentials. So let me grab this thing, and then I will explain. So we're gonna process the message in here. That is not built out yet. That's fine. All right. So this will be LLM, I think. LLM, and then this will be prompt. Essentially, yeah. So we have prompt, LLM. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So this primary prompt is the description, which we'll rename as we go through here. So let me explain what this is doing, because it looks like gobbledygook, because it kind of is. So child processes are allowed to call it executables. If you use child process.spawn, it'll call C++ or Go or any other language that it can talk to that's a command line interface. So if I pull up the Anaconda. If I pull up my prompt here, we'll have to go up a bit. Let's see. Yeah. So in this path here, I have a llama C++ executable, right? So we can call it. So if I hit H here, it's going to take a second to spin up. So if we call that bin, right, we can see all the command line interface stuff this does, right? So what this essentially does is Node does a command line prompt to this. So if we go here to color, and we look here, and color is not really important, but it is one of those things in here. So if we do tac color here, it's going to call that line in C++. So if we go here, there's a setting in here. I got to find it. One of the options in here is just color. So basically, when you prompt it, the prompt's going to be a different color than what they respond with. But then we have like seed, and then we have that seed setting from our prompt. So if you see here, we have the seed setting here. That would be this guy. And then threads detects how many threads you want it to use. And in this case, this is going to be in a config file. that isn't the chatbot config, but its own config. So for me, this would be, if I wanted to do all threads, it'd be like 16 or whatever. It does not respect virtual threads. So it's 8. So it's actual 8. It's cores, not it says threads, it's cores. It's not threads. P is your prompt, and inside your prompt you put your description, which I'm just going to change this to description. Actually, let's just reshape this to match what we're already getting from the prompt. So if we go back to the application, we can just grab the prompt object. So we just know exactly what we're getting. And obviously I could add the other stuff, but I'm not going to. So we'll go back to here in the LLM. We're going to put example down here. We'll get rid of this when we're done. I just put it here so I can see it. So I don't make a simple mistake, because capitalization will get you every time. All right. So in here, we have temp. So now we're going to change temp to temperature. The plus side is this is going to all be strings when it goes in. So it does not matter if this is a number or not, right? So this would be, what is this object actually called here? Prompt object is just message. So we'll want to process that before we hand it in. So we'll essentially want to split up the LLM configs and the prompt. I heard capitalism. Not the capitalism. No, I said capitalize. However, exploitation is exploitation. All right. So we have seed here, which is definitely something from prompt. So we're just going to leave seed. Is it called seed down here? It is called C. And then we've got top K and top P. We're happy with that. Repeat penalty looks the same. Temperature is different, so we want to make sure we do it like that. And then we have character description, which is this thing. So this would be character description. Now this character description, I guess technically you need a name, but we'll hide that in the config file. So essentially what this does is this says, hey, I want the response to be this color. I want you to use the seed of 0, the count threads from the config. Here's your actual prompt, which doesn't need a space here. Prompt cache all, I'm not sure. I think it's like some kind of logging. Then we have end predict, which is how far in the future it looks. How big your context is. Your top K and your top P that we have previously. Repeat penalty, which we have. Our temperature. How many layers on the GPU we're going to use. I think it's just a limit to 30, but I put 69 in there because it's funny. They said put as many as you like in here. Mlock in here basically stores her permanently in the GPU memory. So her bin just lives in either the GPU memory or your RAM, I'm not sure. And then this dictates what kind of model you have. This model is going to be hidden in the config file. So we're gonna need 2 steps in here. We're gonna need to set up a config for these extra settings we do not have. Let's see. Yeah, so we can deal with the name too. All right. So let's see. There's some additional settings in here. There's something missing. There's something missing in here. One second. What is missing? We don't have an output path. That's an issue. I guess you don't need one technically. Never mind. I have two pieces of bots glued together in this config file. So, this is not exactly what I wanted. We don't need, so, all right, yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna grab this config file, with the stuff we don't need taken out. And then we'll just make let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's just add a file in here called, this is probably not necessarily, but we'll just do it. Jesse, settings.js, export default function, or export default const, Jessica settings equal to this thing. And we'll get rid of, we don't need character description because that's handled elsewhere. Damn it. Come here. All right. So you don't like that? Default or export default const. You can't do that? Or did I spell const wrong? Oh, you can't do default as, you can't export a variable as a default, apparently. All right. So the things that are different, we've got the path to the CLI, which I'm not going to make a duplicate of this. I want this to be separate and I want this to be someone else's. If the user gets it, it's their problem, not mine. So that's the old executable. Seed we're already taken care of. So literally we just need to pass in threads, end predict, citrix size, the name of the character, and the path for the bin. So this is where the bin lives. No, that's the executable. So that would be, oh, so we still need model. So we have a slightly sus model we're going to use for the time being. for testing purposes. Let's hope she doesn't get me banned. Actually, let's not do that. Let's grab the non-sus one. I put a note where this lives. There we go. Let's grab the non-sus model, just for safety. And then we can alter that later if we have to. Let's not get Flame Wheel banned from the Twitch or the YouTubes. All right. So I just left a note here. Generally, I run her at 1024. The creator says it can run at 4096 as it, but I don't know with my other settings if that's the case. And then I think I cheated, right? GPU is already set up in here, right? I think we should add this to the list, right? Yeah, we'll call this lm.gpu threads. Yeah, which I think is just called layers. So we'll just call it layers. All right. So then we'll just add that to the settings here. Nice. All right. Not a pipe. There we go. So we'll leave that like that for now. That's fine. So there's our executable in the bin where the bin lives. This is where the model lives. I don't know why the slashes are different. I don't think it matters. So let's be consistent, damn it. Let's just make everything look the same every time. All right, and then this is just a regular GPU enhanced Llama 2 7 billion chat bin with a quantization of medium or Q4KM something. I did some research at one point, but I don't remember. All right, so now we have Jessica's settings. So now essentially what needs to happen is when we call function LLM in prompt here. So there's more that needs to happen in here. But when we pass prompt in, we essentially want to do LLM, and then we want to pass in an object which is ... Jessica. Oh, you're not gonna play nice, are you? So we're gonna get an object. Let's see if it'll import it naturally or if I gotta force it. All right, so it imported it. So we want to unwrap Jessica. So we're gonna read and copy the data out of that, and then we're gonna unwrap prompt or message dot prompt, right? That's what this looks like. Oh, we have the notes at the bottom, right? So we have prompt dot or message dot prompt, or is it message dot? I've already forgot. I don't remember. Message, and then we'll just note this out so it doesn't crash. All right. What? Oh, did you crash? One more time. Module not found. Import Jessica. So the auto import assumes I'm using Vite. Yeah. All right. So what's this look like? So it's message dot and then whatever we need, right? So essentially this would be Jessica unwrap, and then this would be message dot message, and then then outside of that, then it's message dot prompt, essentially, right? And then we'll just do a CL LLM comma prompt, and then we'll comment out this before because we don't want it to run right now. All right, so we'll comment that out for now, right? Constant child, blah, 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 blah. Oh, went too far with my comments. All right, so now if we restart, oh, I don't know what that means. Anyways, right. Now if we hit in here, we've got LLM with our name, our executable path, our threads, our npredict, our Citrix, our GPU layers, our model, temperature, seed, top K, repeat, penalty, blah, 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 blah. All right. So if you want to see her freak out, we can see it actually work in action now. So if we save and then we refresh here, I don't know if this will log. So I don't know if this is doing anything. So we are missing. Okay. So what's the next step? First thing we're going to do in here is we're going to make sure that this doesn't have an error. If it doesn't have an error, let's see. How do I do this? Go fuck yourself, computer. All right. So we want to make sure if it has an error, we want to make sure that this just goes, hey, you have an error. So we can see here, if I refresh, oh no. I don't know what was going on there. All right. So you can see here, we got our prompt for good morning, and we passed it in, and it didn't throw an error, so it is working technically. But until we tell it to log data, it ain't gonna do anything. So we'll just do this. All right. So let's just do this. All right. So we're gonna do some cheating, and I'll explain what this is doing. Just so, blah, blah, blah. All right. So now, if we pass this in data, or we've passed this in something, We're gonna take logging is true out here. This should just, once we get this running, this should just, alright, so in theory, this should log something now. I need one more variable. At the top here, let Luna response equal empty string, and then in theory, if I hit refresh here, in theory, if I did this right, I did not. There we go. So there's her typing. Yeah, yep, that's her typing. Let's see what she actually typed. And we're gonna deal with this in a second. We'll have it so it shows up on the screen. So we should have 2 settings in here. I like this song. This one's going on the likes. Where are you? Have I liked this one? All right, you're getting liked. All right. So we can see here, this was the prompt she got for who she is, which was almost nothing. And then here's the actual prompt. So you can see there's the actual prompt there. So that all worked accordingly. So she adjusted her sunglasses, said, "Oh, good morning, Luna, how are you today?" And then she lost her mind, and then she purred, and then responded as somebody else, because I said, "Good morning, Luna," and her name isn't Luna in this, so. And then she basically hallucinated, like, how that conversation went, and then it ended here. All right, cool. So that's something. All right, let me get this cleared up. That's too much. All right, there we go. Cool. I like that. I'm as a happy. It worked, kind of. So now we want to send these messages out, and then we're double consoling here. Oh, because we're not adding, so basically when this fires, loopy equals 1. All right. And then at the end, when this is all done, it should exit. So there should be an exit step. Let's see what that looks like. So there should be an exit step. Let's see. So right now we have standard out here. So everything locks up when this is happening. And then we want to do an on close. All right. So 1 down, we're going to do a close, which will be asynchronous. And then if closes with 0, CL Luna's response. And then I think this needs another squiggle. Yeah. So, and then on closeout. So sometimes the LLM will freak out and it'll just break, and it won't fire at all. All right. So let's make sure this already reset. So we're just gonna go, "Good morning, Jessica." And then we'll see here if it worked. She should start typing. Yeah. So you can see that, and then at the very end, it should just log what she did, right? So we exited out, we got her prompt, and then we have what she responded with, which is basically, "Good morning, adjust cat ears, I hope you're having a good day." So yeah, there we go. So there's your response. Sometimes she'll, and these are just based off of what the settings currently are at. There's no guarantee this will be the behavior. So if we exit successfully, we're gonna log. Otherwise, yeah. So we're gonna need to set a lock in here, or we can make her the lock. So where do we put the lock, I guess? Well, we have to decide where we want the queue to live, right? We need to figure out where the queue lives in order to figure out where the lock goes. But if we have the queue in the other one, there's no need for a lock, right? So in here, just stop, please. If we put the queue in here, the lock we don't need a lock. It'll just live here, right? So, yeah. So that might be better, is just to put in the thing that does LLM stuff, should just have the queue in it, I think. So let's just do that, and then we don't need a lock. Because then we control when it looks at stuff. So instead of this message, in this message processor, we would message, but instead of going directly to the LLM, we'd put it in the queue, and then there'd be an event loop in here. So essentially, don't need lock, but need event loop. So basically, we need something. I guess we technically would still have a lock to know when to come back to the function, right? So essentially, message process would hit a function that sets the chat queue, which also checks to see if the chat queue is currently running, and if it's not running, to run it. Oh yeah, so they would still have a lock, yeah. So needs lock, needs async function, needs to be instead. All right. I don't know why it decided something like this after that. I don't. Anyways, goodbye. All right. So let's see if we can't get this to spit out something meaningful, right? So we already have a prompt, so we don't need prompt. So loopy is 0. If loop is 0, strip off the prompt. But it looks like this still got the prompt, did it not? Can we agree? this still spit out a prompt here. So we would want to strip back everything from here. But I feel like it would have already done that. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I don't. Okay. Anyways, so basically, let's set up the queue, because if we don't set up the queue, this isn't gonna work, right? So async function, we'll call it queue handler. Queue handler is going to take in message. So instead of splitting this out like this, he'll handle that, and then we'll handle that too. So we'll go like this. All right, and then we'll leave queue outside of this function so that it lives, so it doesn't die if it closures or whatever. So this needs message. So then essentially here, instead of doing console.log, we do queue handler message like that. And then const chat lock, I guess. It's false. So this will be one of those variables that we pass in SSE as a state machine object. Because we'll want this in here to basically say, hey, it'll be SSE, or it will just basically say, hey, is it locked or not? Yeah. I don't know how I'm passing that. Let's see. Let's look at our messages real quick. Okay, we just name it. So as long as we send us something that says, hey, it'll basically be message type, it'll essentially say message type, I don't know. My brain just wandered off, I'm sorry. We've been doing this for what? What's OBS think? 4 hours plus when it crashed earlier. So my brain wandered off a little bit there. It happens. It happens more the longer we go. It'll wander off real hard as we get closer to the end of the stream. All right, so how do we send these messages? All right, so in SSE, in our SSE dispatcher, in here, what he should do is he's stringifying message.message. Okay, so we're already dealing with this. So we're gonna pass in a message type twice, essentially. So yeah, so what this would be, we want to pass the key through, right? So we would do process dot send, and then we're gonna send a message. Message type is always going to be SSE for this, comma, and then in message we have an additional message type of this would be chat lock, I guess, and then the message would be chat lock, right? Yeah, so it'd be true or false essentially. So anytime we change that variable, we'll need to send a message that says it got changed. Yeah. All right, well, let's see if it works, I guess. So we'll launch that, and then we'll pass back a SSE and see what happens. All right, so we'll refresh. Looks like everything's working. All right, so if we send that, there we go. We got chat lock back. So that successfully works now. So now we can handle that on the clients. Since we're there, let's do that real quick. That shouldn't take too much. So we have a state machine configuration controller already, I think. Yep. So if we get this message, we're gonna call, let's see. So we're gonna pass that case in here. Case, what do we call that? Chat lock. And then we're gonna break. Always break your switches or we'll learn what we learned earlier. So then basically all we have to do is do this. All right, and then we're gonna call this chat lock, message dot message. Oh, fuck off. All right, and then in state machine. Oh, are we not even adding that? Okay, so that won't even be in the state machine unless it hits. So let's see if that worked. All right, so that did not, because we're not processing it yet. All right, so back to the main controller. In the main controller, if we get a case of chat lock, we're gonna add that to the state machine. And then state machine already has something for chat lock. Yeah. I don't know what order these need to be in, but I think I'm just gonna add them as I go. And then we'll revisit later if that's messy or not. Alright, so now we have chat lock equals false here. So let's add an additional style. Or actually, we'll just fix that in the handler itself. Where are you, state machine? So in here, it'll be chat lock message.message dot alright, okay. Equals false question mark. We're gonna return false. Well, we're gonna check if it's true, I think. I think it'd be better if we check if it's true. But this is coming in as a string, right? So that's probably like this, I assume? We'll check. It may be coming in as just a false when it gets parsed. When we get it in the state machine, it did not equal true. We did not lock that lock. And then this is backwards. Alright, that's on me. Alright. But we didn't actually look how it gets parsed. So when it gets parsed, it comes back as False. Okay, so that is an actual value. So let's check to make sure that's the case. If it's actually false, it's going to say true for this one instance. But this is just a good reason to test this. All right. So it says true. So that means it came back as false. All right. So we can do true here, and then it'll just prop up as false next time. I don't know why the double refresh is like that. All right. Then if we look here, now it says the chat lock isn't working. Well, that's good. That's the behavior we want for that thing. This is the thing we want for that thing. All right, so we've actually been streaming for 4 hours. That widget's just broken. Which chat? What? Tasty, tasty water. All right, so now we're adding the chat lock up here, so that makes me happy. So we can close the controller. We can control the configuration. Now we can go back in the LLM. So now we can pass in the chat lock, and what we're going to do essentially is when the lock changes. So in the code, when we change it to do what we want it to do, we'll update the lock and then send a message to the dashboard that it's not locked in. And eventually, once everything's working the way we want, we can obviously get rid of these lock statuses, but it's kind of nice to see the state of the application, regardless of where the application thinks it's at. It's easier than trying to log in and hope you catch it, because, I've got 2 logs at this point, so it'd be nice to just be able to visualize, hey, this is the behavior you're getting. And then we might add some styling up here and add like checkboxes or circle X's if they're broken, but future wheel problems. It's in the notes somewhere. There you go. It's in the notes in the state machine. So this will be one of those locking variables mentioned right there. Yeah. I have a knot in my hair. Why you be like this, hair? You take a shower tonight too. All right. Focus. All right. So now we're in the queue handler, right? So the first thing we're going to want to do is see if there's anything in the queue, right? So, or push the message into the queue. So we'll add a queue handler dot push, and then we're going to push in the whole message? No, just message dot message. Yeah, so if we get a handler here, we're going to pass in message dot message. I don't think that has to be wrapped. I think it's, or do we want, we probably want a key that says when it ended up in the system, maybe? Term fix for a long-term problem. I think we can just pass message.message in there. No, because they're identical. It wouldn't work. Yeah, so let's do like we did. Let new key equal new date dot get time, right? And then this will be, when we push this in, it'll have a unique key. So then we just do parentheses or array-shaped thing and then new key, so that it passes in that new string. I don't know why that's alerting. We really need to turn that off for the alert, but whatever. Alright, so in here we queue, and then we push, right? And then we have one of 2 options. Either there's nothing in queue, and the queue is unlocked, or there is something in the queue that is locked. How do we deal with that loop? Because we don't want this, we want this to be forever looping. We don't want it to be only when there's stuff to be prompt, right? So I don't want to call the, while I want this function running, I don't want it, oh, we'll just do a loop. All right, we'll just do a loop in here for queue handler, essentially, right? So, all right. So at some point this will be unlocked, right? So we can assume it's unlocked when it hits here. We're going to use the pre-prompted that, just so I can get this in the way. And then this will be queue handler. Oh, not queue handler. Chat queue. Come on, Flamel. Get your act together. We don't want to push that into the function. It's not going to work. All right. So essentially, we're going to pop off the stack. If there's no lock, right? So if there's a lock, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to push and then skip it. Wait. All right, I'm going to look how I did this previously, because I don't fucking remember. This is a little more complex than... All right, how did we do this last time? Oh, okay, so this function has to be called... This function needs to do the dispatching, but this function also needs to be callable from, yeah, okay. All right, so this function is going to do jackal in here, right? It's just gonna... All we're gonna do is make a new key real quick, and then pass that into chat, into the chat queue, and that's all that's gonna happen. The LLM is going to handle it. So what we'll do here is, if it's not locked, this will fire. Otherwise, we'll use the other function. So chat lock equals false question mark. So if it's false, then we're gonna call whatever that function was called. We'll do then we'll do queue_handler, right? So if chatlock equals false and queue_handler, and then queue_handler will just get called. But if it's already locked, queue_handler will already be here, right? So something else will control the lock, essentially. So all we're gonna do in here in queueLock, since we've already pushed the chat queue in there, right? Oh, we want that. So we're gonna do chat queue dot. We don't want to pop, I don't think. Array remove first item. I think it's shift or pop. I never remember. Let's see. Yeah, shift's gonna steal the first one. All right, that's what I thought. And it's mutative, which is what we want, right? So shift. So basically, LLM the function will get the chat queue shift. We'll get whatever the value. So whenever this gets called, so essentially when this gets called, it can only be called when the lock's not there. If this calls it. Otherwise, it'll get called from LLM. So in this process out here at the end, where this is console.logging, this is going to fire a new queue. This is essentially going to set, all right. So at this point, if this exits correctly, right, that means it's done doing what it needs to do. And then we're just going to do queue_handler and call queue_handler again, right? So until queue_handler runs out of values, it's not going to unlock, right? Because what I don't want to have happen is have this get called twice. So we're going to return that function. So we're basically going to exit out this function completely. You need... Yeah, so we'll basically unshift if there's a length, right? So, chat queue and chat queue dot length does not equal 0. We're going to do unshift, right? So if chat queue is that and 0, and then else if chat queue exists and the length is 0, chat queue dot length equals 0, then we're going to format you. All right. So if chat queue exists and it has a length that isn't equal, and has a length that's equal to 0, we're then going to set chat lock to false, and then we're going to pass in that function that tells you it's locked or unlocked, I should say. Let's see. Where did I put that? We had it. What did I do with it? I believe. Did I close it? Did I delete the message that tells me that it's locked? I'm confusing myself, chat. I'm confuzzled. I'm confused. Perplexed. Vegetabled. Alright, so... Alright, I need a break, apparently. I'll be back in, like, 3. I'm confused. I got myself confused. Alright, I have no idea when I deleted the message, but we'll re-add it. So what did that look like? Or did I add that? I don't remember where I added that, though. Maybe it's in ChatBot? I don't think so, though, because these all have notes. Send message. We can at least figure out what that thing needs to be shaped like again, right? Message.message. And that was what? Okay, I don't know why I'm so perplexed right now. It happens sometimes. Alright. Sometimes I do that because I don't think. I should have commented it out like I did down here, and I didn't. I saying things that'll only brought me pain, and when I die, hope it was for something. Alright, so then this will be message type. I'm on fingers. Must be getting tired or something. Message type is the thing I just pushed, and then the message is message type chat lock, and then it equals false. Is false? Yeah. So that's what that looks like, and then instead of being chat lock here, this is SSE. All right. So if we're at chat queue and there is no length, we're gonna unlock it. If it's unlocked, the new message from the from the user will go through the system. All right, cool. All right. So then if this gets called and chat queue exists and it has a length, we're going to take the last entry off that length. And we're going to do that, and we are going to make sure chat lock is set to true. I don't know that we need to dispatch every time that this is true. However, we should always set it to true in here unless it's not, right? Just in case. So then we'll send a message, and this will just be chat lock. Well, it's always going to be true in here. All right. Yum. All right. So we go in here, and we do that. Chat lock equals true. Why don't you like that? Is chat lock not up here? What is your issue? Assignment. Oh, because I said const instead of let up here. That's fair. Nah, chat lock's going to change, brother. I promise. All right. So we're good. All right. File argument must be type of string. I don't know. It's whatever. I wasn't going to fix that. I just wanted to see that we were locked. So that did transmit a lock. So now we can fix the message we sent over. All right. So this always pushes a new entry. And then if it's locked, or if it's not locked, we go in here. We should automatically lock it. We should then tell the server, we should tell the client we locked it. And then we should do the bullshit we need to do out of that object, right? So that object that so now we need to do this, essentially. But it'll be chat queue instead. Let queued equal this. And then we're just going to CL queued right now. Make sure it's shaped the way I think it is. And then we'll just comment this out for now. All right. All right. Oi. All right. That didn't do anything. So that should have went in here. Did it not? All right. Let's... that should have sent something over here. Let me refresh again. Or we crashed down here. Well, let me hit save. All right. That's working. Refresh. Hi. All right. We're locked and loaded. And then in queued, we have the stats from last time. So essentially what we're going to want to do in here is, I think I can just do that. All right. So new key, chat lock. All right. So that's queued. So if we do object dot values, and then we call queued, that should be what I'm looking for. It should just show the thing that's in queued. All right. Yeah. Fuck off. Chat lock shouldn't have been in there. Are you fucking kidding me? Reset the server. Reset you. I don't know why this is getting stuck in there. All right, it didn't fucking work. What the hell? All right, so queued look like that. And then this is object dot values. All right, so that's probably 0. There we go. That's it. So that's what we need to do here. So queued equals chat dot unshift dot values 0, right? And then at that point, we can still do the same thing we did here, but instead of this being message dot message, it's then instead of message dot message here, it's queued dot message, and then queued dot message prompt. No, queued is just this, right? So this will be dot 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 queued, and then this would just be queued dot prompt. But before we do that, let's console.log that to make sure that's correct. That way we don't have to figure that out then. Let's do that. And then we'll see if that looks right. All right, so then we'll comment this out. We put this on the right line and comment it out. All right, so that is not actually connected. I don't know. I'm missing a break in here? No. Oh, so we're locked right now, so it's not refiring. That's what's happening. All right, let's restart the server. And then we'll wake this up again. All right, so at least the lock is working. Let's see. Did that push that in, though? All right, it should have done queue handler. Did I not log that properly? Because we should have had a giant object. All right, so we got queued is this. And then this is queued. All right. Oh, why did I comment out this? Timeout. What? I wanted to comment out this. All right. I'm fine. You're fine. We're all fine. So plus side is the chat lock is locked. So at least we know it's locking properly. All right. There we go. So now we're getting the whole object again. So we're happy with that. And then when this ends, it's going to go back to the queue handler and see if there's anything new in the queue handler. Because the user could technically be typing another message to her while it's sitting here. But we want to pass back 2 things. We want to pass back prompt, which is this thing. I want this prompt. I want to pass out this prompt the second she starts responding, essentially. I'm going to split this video up into 2, I think, for the YouTubes. Yeah, or more. I don't fucking know. We've been going 4 hours, and I plan to stop if I don't get tired by 9, I guess. So if I stop at 9, this thing will be 9 hours long. So less than ideal, I think. All right, so we're now getting our prompt, and we're logging that prompt here, right? So if this thing doesn't crash, we're going to go back to the queue handler. And the queue handler doesn't care about the lock, but if there is a length, it's going to do the lock do this, clean out the thing in the lock, and then recontact the LLM to fire again. All right, yeah. So that'll get us an endless loop at that point, which is the goal at that point. If loopy equals 1, we'll figure this out. This next part I'm not sure on. My issue is that it looked like she included her prompt on her response last time. But let's get this set up so that it sends a message into this guy here. So on the, oh god, she's responding. So we exited with the code, and then her prompt was in there. So we need to remove this when she's typing. But I don't think she typed that in the response, though. So if we look in the response she gave, right? Here we go. So this first one is here. So this first entry needs to go. So we need to strip that out completely. All right, but we already have the prompt, right? So, and Luna's response is real. So what we can do here in console.log is dot replace, and then we can replace prompt, right? So we basically have prompt saved already, wherever he is. This is all the bullshit to call that thing. This is it executing. This is our variable for stopping this. This spits it into the variable. So we want prompt is here. All right, so we don't want prompt here. And we don't want to log prompt anymore. Well, we probably do for now. But we'll put prompt up here with Luna's response, right? Because there's not a thing called prompt, right? Oh, there is a thing called prompt. Oh. But prompt isn't just prompt here, right? So that's the problem. So we'll call this full prompt. That way we're not running into issues. And then here, we'll change this to full prompt, right? And then essentially, once we have full prompts, which means we're actually talking, right? We want to send a message. And we're going to do the same thing. This will be message type SSE, and then message type, we'll call this prompt, I guess, which is like the full prompt, right? So we'll just call this full prompt. Nah, we'll just send back prompt, right? Yeah, so we're just going to send back the prompt that got fed into the top of this. So message type is prompt, and then message prompt, right? So we don't need full prompt other than we need full prompt here, right? So replace full prompt, comma, this, right? Because then we'll only let her type. Okay, so we want to do that here, right? We'll just do that here. All right. Let's see if that works. That might work. All right. So let's hit the inspector. See if this actually goes through, right? What up, girl? All right. So we should have got a parsed message back called prompt with the prompt. And then we can see here, we got, okay, what up, girl? All right, so we want to remove full prompt, but it didn't take out full prompt. So what is full prompt actually? All right, this thing. We'll just grab this thing. Fuck it. All right, so we're gonna grab that, and then essentially we're just gonna remove that here. My thing is, if we're skipping this, why is she getting that back? Whatever. We don't want full prompts. We don't need this at all, actually. We don't need full prompt there. We don't need prompt here. But we got prompt back here, so that's good. So that'll get added to the, we can then update the dashboard thing and then add her typing. I don't know what this song is. All right. So in here, we're going to replace this with this, which is a string. She's responding back with that for some reason, which is less than ideal. Fuck off. I need to change that so it just stops. Where's the alert coming from? Yeah, let's just, it's got to be one of these, right? We'll just do it like that so I don't have to see it for now. So basically, we're going to strip out the prompt stuff, and then hopefully it just works. Because I don't want her typing it either, ever. Like, I don't want to see that, ever. All right. So then we're currently locked, but she's not responding yet. So we got our prompt back. All right, there we go. So we got rid of the response now. So we can leave the name, I think. I think we can leave the name semicolon. I think that feels okay. All right, so down here, let's see what that looks like. Okay, I don't know what the fuck. Goodbye. All right, so we look here. What? Okay, I don't know what this is. She changed her name. I don't know what any of that was. All right, so we got a chat lock. All right, so she responded like this. All right, cool. So we at least got a response back, even if it is garbage. We need to strip out special characters. Regex, strip out non-UTF-8, please. remove non remove non letters, or I remove non-alphanumeric letters. All right, yeah, should be something that looks like that. I think it's this /G. I want to say it's that /G. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's this thing. That removes everything though, and we also want to keep we want to keep we want to keep like periods and semicolons and shit. So we'll add that to the list. Yeah, we'll do it that way. That's fine. We'll see if that works. So here, dot this, and then we also want to keep periods, commas, semicolons. I think that'll work. We'll see. She's already got a hi in here, so maybe she'll respond. All right, so we saw special characters in there. Oh, she cooking. She's a cooking. We need to do replace all. This needs to be replace all. But I don't think it grabbed. I don't think it grabbed all of them. All right, let's try that again. All right. So let's see what that does. All right, so she had special symbols and it's not working. But you can see it's not working. At all. That didn't do anything. Yeah, fuck that. I'm not gonna figure it out. I'm not relearning that. Come here. Where are you? I don't have time to figure this out. Or I don't have the patience. This. I would not have found that. All right. I don't remember. Okay, so this is the actual answer. Basically, it converts the entire string over to UTF-8 and then goes, hey, bro, that shit ain't real. So then it's like, hey, you can keep these things, and that's it. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's the right one. No, I think that's cleaning up a bad message in, actually. I don't think that's actually what I'm looking for. Let's see. LLM.js. Okay, yeah. It's much simpler than that, actually. So this is for bad input from a user. But what we want is this, which is just a bad input from her. Or a bad output from her. Basically, this will get rid of all the special characters. Refresh. Alright. Yeah, so that fixes a bad input, not a bad response. Yeah, so there we go. So you see how that cleaned up what she sent out, essentially? Yeah. Alright. Let's fix that problem. Because I don't... For whatever reason, these are emojis, and for whatever reason, I don't know how to process an emoji, so I just get rid of it, because it looks stupid to me anyways. Alright. So at that point, we don't need full prompt anymore. That's gone. Yeah. So that might be something fun too, is in here to put like a square above this. I'm going to add that to the notes. This doesn't go anywhere yet. So in the text to speech section, that's in UI. All right, we're just going to copy this real quick. So in case she's making up stuff, we can just add response, like message stuff. Add name of respondent in chat bubbles, question mark. Yeah, let's add that to the, possibly something to add. So where she's freaking out over here and adding extra people to the stack or whatever, we might be able to do something with it. All right. So let's add a handler for dealing with the chat boxes now. So in here, we have a config manager and a controller. So now we need to add a... Do we just want the controller, or do we want its own file? We probably want its own file to handle this thing. Do I have a stream schedule? Sorta. So it's Tuesday sometimes, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and not this Friday, but normally it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5, sometime around 5 or 6 EST PM, and then I go till 9 PM EST. And then Saturdays or whenever I feel like, generally around like noon, and then that'll go till I get tired. If that makes sense. And we're gonna be coding for a while. If I need a break on occasion, we'll do something else, or we'll actually turn on the AI and actually just chit chat and just talking. But yeah. So Wednesdays through Fridays, 5 or 6 PM EST until 9 PST. 9 PM PST, and then Saturday whenever, and then Tuesday if I feel like it. Well, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Yeah. All right, so let's start working on this widget here. We want to, we're gonna clear this out, but let's see where that even's built at. I don't think that's procedural. So let's add another controller for that. We'll just call this chat controller JS. Export default function chat handler, and then that'll take in a message, and then that'll get hit from a switch. Tell me that you love me, and you tell me that I fucking love it. All right, so let's see. Where are you? This guy. So we want to change his inner HTML essentially. All right, main chat div. So don't know the devil, then you don't know me. So we're gonna do a const main chat widget equals document dot query selector hashtag main chat. Or would this need to just be an element selector? I don't think it needs to be a query selector. I think it just needs to be an element selector because you can't do anything in there other than scroll. I don't know. And I guess we want a variable in here too. Const chat history equals empty array. Yeah. You don't know the devil, then you don't know me. I am the one. Alpha Omega will be outdone. You know, Icarus, you'll be flying close to the sun. Time of the nation. An army until a nation. Get away. Get out the way! There's an army until a nation. Station. We do it 24/7 till we're 6 feet deep. If you don't know the devil, then you don't know me. Alright. So we'll have a chat history here. There's gonna be a special component, I think. Function typing components. So he gets a message too. Because we're gonna store everything in the history here, but the typing component is her typing, so it'll probably be its own bubble. So essentially, it'll be a bubble down here, like the last bubble in the array, and as she types, it'll fill itself out. So let's Google that real quick. JavaScript scroll to bottom of div, please. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, that's top. I want to go to the bottom. I don't care about that. I'm gonna handle that. Div equals my div, inner HTML equals burr, scroll to bottom, and where's scroll to bottom? Scroll to bottom is my div. That doesn't make any sense. I don't like the way you explained that. Let's not deal with that. So the problem is we're gonna be like unmounting and mounting a list essentially. Yeah, so JavaScript scroll bottom of list. Maybe that'll make more sense. I think he's gonna do the same thing. Well, that's kind of cheaty. I like that. Okay, so we'll grab that and we'll put that as a note that that's just AI advice. All right, and then we'll just comment that out for now. All right. So essentially, last item is this thing. But first, let's get it to work, and then we'll worry about scrolling behavior. All right. So we now have chat handler. So over here in chat handler, in the controller, we need two cases in here, right? So the one that we've already set up, the case we already set up is break. What do we call that? We called that prompt, I think. It's just called prompt. All right. So then we want to do handle chat handler, and then we're going to pass in message. And then there's going to be another one that is case LLM typing. That will need a chat handler of message. It's parsed message, not message. My bad. So we do parsed message again, break, and then we want case LLM done typing, or typing complete. Let's do typing complete. And then we'll still do chat handler, parsed message. If you, Mr. Mic Cord, could stop getting in the way of the keyboard. I need to set up my swing arm. That's getting annoying. All right, and then we break again. All right, so then in chat handler, go to definition. In chat handler here, we're now gonna have a switch that does these things. So it'd be message type this. All right, so we do a bunch of duplicate code here and there, but it's a bunch of switches. I'm okay with that. So now these are our cases, obviously. So we want this to be message instead of, so it'll be do. So now that'll be message. There we go. So we've now processed this message, and now we're in the chat handler. All right, cool. So we have three functions we need to do, right? So first we need handle prompt, which shouldn't be too bad, right? Message dot message. And then we need LLM typing. So that'll just be handle LLM typing. And then this one might be fun. So message dot message. And then this will be handle LLM typing complete. Yeah. All right. So essentially what this is going to do is, well, I guess if it's a prompt, Yeah, so, how do we want to do this? So we're going to need a rendering component, essentially, and that'll be this handle function. But what we would want to have happen, because these are already pre-styled, we would want to fire off... We also have to figure out what order these are in. So I think this is the user, and this is the LLM, right? So this is your LLM, this is your the user, essentially. So we're going to use an array. We should always get a prompt before we get a response back unless she crashes. So what we'll do is we'll have a all right, so we'll have a async function. I think this has to be async because we're going to want to handle the typing and we're going to cheat a little bit with the typing, possibly. So we'll figure that out. Message. So this will be the or this doesn't need an object. This just needs to be refired. So this would be chat renderer. So we'll render the chat. Essentially, we're going to map over chat history. Yeah, so basically in this array, there'll either be a thing called prompt. Let's shape that in there so we at least know what it would look like. Because this isn't real yet, but we can put the placeholder stuff in there. So we can do prompt, hi, I'm Flamewheel. And then after that, we would have another object called, let's call it Jessica. And then we'll just have, all right. So it'll be like that. So basically, we would do let chat equal chat handler.map return string. So it'd be if, no, there's one more step. It's not chat handler, Flamewheel, it's chat history. You did it again. All right, so it's chat history dot map. No, it is dot map. I always, Yeah, it has to be an array of objects, but we need to strip out, we need to break the object, we need to break it down by EL, and then we need an object dot entries of each EL, and then we map that, and we map that key value every fucking time. You are stable now? I am glad you are stable now. I hope you feel better now. We're gonna grab the index, and then we're gonna soup this out. And then essentially this would be a string. And this would be the thing that gets added to the div, right? So, not yet. I'm working on it. Well, you know, at least it's something. So, if key equals prompt, right? Because that's the way we're going to save that is prompt. So, let's new HTML equal empty string. And then if prompt, new HTML equals new HTML plus what we're about to do. All right. So what this would be is this right here. So whatever he is right now. All right. So hi2 right here. So it is a span called h2 with no ID. All right. I don't like they don't have IDs. I don't like that they don't have IDs. It's whatever. So it would be, all right. So it would be span slash span. It would be cash money mayhem value. And then spam class would equal hi2. Yeah, class would equal hi2. If he equals Jessica, new HTML equals new HTML plus Jessica, and this is just a hi, right? And then at the end of this function, we would grab this guy, document dot query select. No, it's not query selector. We would want get element by ID, our ID, which is the main chat div, dot inner HTML equals new HTML. That should get rid of anything that's there, though. That should clear it out, too. And then we don't actually need chat history here. We don't need a new variable here. We can just map that out. So every time we call chat re-render, we're going to fill in new HTML, and then when we're done, we're going to drop it. It's not dot inner HTML, it's dot add inner, no, it's add adjacent, no, I forgot. We have done this already. This guy, yeah, it's not add event listener. No, it's not. It's an in the controller or the state machine? State machine. Dropped in, each shit going to hell, I could jump, and first, yeah, there we go. Get element by ID, and then we're gonna insert inner HTML before the end. Yeah, that's what it is. The lamppost, not sure I'll be coming back down this time. Alright, so this would be before end, comma, inner, or new HTML. Yeah. But we need to fix that element now, because that one needs an additional box for her just typing. Yeah. You should go to hell, I could jump and first out the window. Yeah, so we need to append in the typing widget at the end of this, right? So before we get here, there should be another component. New HTML equals new HTML plus what we're about to add, which is, this is a high one. And then this one gets an ID. This one's special. So this one gets an ID, and that ID is typing span, or yeah, LLM typing span. So essentially what we'll do is allow her to type into this block, and this block is just always here. Yeah, because we're going to be erasing everything in here. I want to make sure that this is still here every time it renders. And then this one should always be the one getting focus. So we'll add one called, what did he call it? He called it last item. Yeah, so these should be spans, but these should be in a list, so they're in order. Well, we'll see how it works first, and then we'll figure out if we need to do that. ID. Yeah, because we can just do it with the div here, right? So we can do, since we already have main chat widget here, we can just do last element child, right? And then we just scroll into view. So if the element exists, go to the last item. Well, we can just do scroll into view for this thing, right? So we do this, and then we do if document dot query selector quote symbols hashtag LLM typing spam. I don't think scroll into view is real, right? Into view arguments. I don't have any arguments. End is the answer. Or I guess we'll just grab this whole thing and see if it scrolls at all. It may not scroll at all, and that might just be fine. All right, we'll see what that looks like. Maybe it won't work at all. Yeah, we'll give that a go, see if that works at all. Loves you too. Send hugs. All right, so now we should just be able to render that. So when we get a prompt, we can do, if it's a prompt, chat history dot push, and then we'll push prompt, which is the key, and then we're gonna pass message dot message, right? Because prompt comes in. What is prompt? What? All right. So what does prompt come back as? We gotta wait for it to cook. All right, there we go. So this would be, prompt would be Are you okay? Okay, she's fine. She wrote a story apparently. So this would be, prompt is just message dot message. All right, cool. So we do chat dot push, and then we're gonna re-render, right? So then we're gonna chat render. All right, and then LLM typing will be its own thing. And then when she completes, she's gonna send a message that says completed. And basically it's gonna do the same thing. And when she sends that, so what this would need to do is get completed message, reset the typing widget to an empty string. So get completed message would reset the typing widget to 0, and then append this to the end of the push. Yeah. So this one's not too bad. So this one can just be chat history dot push push Jessica semicolon message dot message. All right, cool. So we're not gonna deal with this guy yet. We're gonna leave him alone, but we shouldn't be getting a message that needs parsed yet. All right, so let's do completed typing real quick. It's fine. All right, so let's go back this way, right? Because the controller already has these handled, right? We've got typing, completed, and prompt. Let's just grab those so we don't forget they're a thing. Yeah, and then we'll just go this way. All right, back in the chatbot itself. No, in the LLM itself. Let's put this down here. Let cases. There we go. And then we'll just clean this up real quick. Then comma. And then we don't need the rest of this. What is your issue? Temp case equal that. You not like the commas? Oh, because it's not a whatever. Are you happy? Flamewheel's happy. All right. So in here, when she finishes talking right now, we're logging, right? So what we want is to basically, in here, we go like this. So we're gonna put process dot send message type of SSE, and then our message, which is a message type of she's done typing. So that's the message type, and then the message is this thing. Yep. All right. So then we'll be able to send that out, and this will close this out. And then we just need to deal with typing in a second. But let's just deal with her finishing talking. This thing may just work now. So let's full size this real quick so we can see it happen. And we may have to delete these two. I am excited to be here. How about you? All right. So we've sent that. We can see the chat's locked. Valid is not defined. Okay, so I messed up somewhere. So there's my prompt. This should have turned into that, but the renderer failed. And then we got her done typing without her bullshit in here. All right, cool. So now we need to figure out where I messed up on my loop here. Okay, where did I mess up? I am in the wrong folder. I don't need to look at that. All right, so we pushed Jessica and then her message, right? So that is a key and a value. So this is a key and a value. So it's issue. All right. So this is where it gets rough because I'm not sure. At history. Just see what that looks like first, and then maybe we'll figure out why that came back as undefined. Refresh. Good morning, Jessica. All right. So we got a state machine. We're locked. We got our prompt here. We just got our prompt back. So chat history looks like this, right? That should not have been like that. Okay, we got to strip that out too. There's another step we'll need to add. We'll come back to that. That's the easy fix. All right. So essentially that did do what it was supposed to do, but value is not defined. So here's my array, right? So then we map over that array. Fuck. There's an easier way. Let's just do a for loop because it's easier and Flamewheel doesn't understand maps sometimes. For I, this is chat history dot length const key comma value equals object dot entries chat history I, and then at that point we can just do this. Yeah, do that. Need that. All right, and then pop that out of the place because it doesn't need to be there anymore. Refresh it. Good morning, Jessica. All right, let's see if that works. Nope, value is undefined. Why? CL this. What is your issue? Am I stupid? Am I blind? Am I dumb? Is value not a fucking thing? Oh, hi, Mark. Now I'm confused. That is an array of 2 with a prompt and a thing. I am creating a key and a value here. It sees the key because it definitely hit it at chat render. Let's just log them and see what they are. Maybe I'm confused. Oh, this value down here is undefined. It's not that it's undefined up top there. It's undefined below it. You know, that's fair. That's fair. So like that. All right, let's try that again, shall we? I think that's what's happening there. Yeah, so if we look here, so we have our blank here where she would be typing. But this did not work, did it? So this is her typing. This should have had a span here that isn't typing. Right. So we should have done this loop first, but maybe we didn't push in there. Where's chat history? So chat history is an array of 4 items now, right? All right. So we can see here, chat history is now 5, right? So this should have more than 2 widgets here. I've done something wrong, right? Because it's prompt. Did I mess up on the pushes? Now the pushes are right. Prompt, right? And then the array, you can see the array here, right? That's got stuff in it. So chat history dot length I, key history, if key equals prompt, CL is prompt, is Jessica. Oh, because we're not, no, it's here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's console.log the HTML, I guess, right? So CL new HTML. All right. Could be an issue with it being async. No, because the loop should have blocked it regardless. Alright, so we got a chat lock already. Oh, yeah, there's an issue here. You can see it here. So we see here, this is all we got back. So I made a mistake somewhere in this mess. Gosh dang it. Let's try and just log key and value and see if maybe I have made a mistake. Oh, hi. Alright. There we go. So, oh. Well, that's not the behavior Flamewheel wanted. Alright. So let's just CL chat history I. Maybe we can just deal with this. I don't know. I feel like I'm going crazy because this is normal behavior. Yeah. So this should be a key and a value. I don't... It should be destructuring, and I don't know why it's not destructuring properly. Alright, well, I don't know why this isn't working properly. So this should give me a key and a values back, and I should be able to deconstruct them. Let's try a let just in case. Try one more time. This isn't working the way it should, and I don't know where I'm messing up, and it's frustrating, because 99% of the time it works every time. I don't understand why it's calling that a key, right? It shouldn't be calling prompt a key. Unless because it's out of the array, it doesn't count as a key. Or maybe because it's inside, I don't fucking know. Whatever. Alright, whatever. So, let temp equal that. Let key equal temp1, or temp0. Let value equal temp2, or 1. Are you to be here? See this bullshit, though? Do you see this still all the same? Now I don't fucking understand. I don't, the fuck? Right, so we broke temp up, right? Help. The lock's not undone. Alright, so we put in prompt as help. 41 responded with nothing. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Console.log, the keys. It doesn't make any sense to me, because normally an object has a key. And you're in a key. I don't understand. I don't fucking care. See? See? This is what I don't understand! It makes no fucking sense. It's supposed to destruct. It's not supposed to work this way. I should be able to deconstruct. I should be able to deconstruct that without having... Whatever. Alright. I'm not... Are you okay over there? Alright. Oh, that's infuriating. Okay. One more step. 0, 0. I lack a... There's something. Alright. I feel like I'm losing my mind over here. I do not understand. Alright. So chat lock's true. There we go. So that's the response we should have got. So we now have the update, her typing, and then we are not handling her end response, right? Because we didn't get a parsed message for the end. Our typing complete is here. So we did get typing complete. All right, cool. So we did get typing complete, but typing complete doesn't do the render yet, right? So let's grab that, and then that should just re-render. So let's make sure this whole thing resets. I'm gonna reset this page. Good morning, Jessica. All right, so in here, now this should come back with the prompt, and then the prompt should appear on the page, yep. And then this is the next one, so this is what I typed in. And then this is her response. So this should reset every time, so we are missing one vital step on this render thing, which I knew we were going to run into. So what we want to do is we run a check to make sure that the object exists. Let's go. Oh, baby. Gonna whoop whoop. Yeah, what I want. Now everybody's getting down. All right, so we're gonna add a state up here. LLM typing. Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is instead of doing this here, we need to first go to this guy. All right, so let's go to the top. First thing we need to do is if LLM typing is false, everybody. And then it'll be default is false. So if we don't call it at all, it's false by default. So we want if LLM typing, which means it's true. We want to do the bottom of the function, which is these two things here. This piece right here, essentially. Cheap. All right. So at that point, we have this. So this will be the bottom. New HTML equals new HTML plus this. Console log, new HTML. And then we're just going to type in there. So since we're adding in there, we're just going to do whatever. But the rest of this, we're just going to take out of here. So if we call this function like normal, let's grab let's HTML, right? So we do not want a full re-render if she's typing, right? We don't want a full re-render if she's typing. However, if there's a new value in there, we want to push it onto the stack and then go to the bottom of the page. And then hopefully it'll just stay at the bottom of the page. Summertime memories never fade away. I don't know how to scroll the bottom automatically down here because I think I accidentally deleted their notes. Oh no, there we go. We can do last child, and then we can do scroll into view. Yeah, okay. We'll deal with that in a sec. Let's at least get this thing to spawn properly first. And then yeah, so it'd be this thing here. So if this thing exists, we go to the bottom. Otherwise, we're gonna do this garbage here, which is this loop here, and that ends here, and then the else ends right there. All right, so basically we're gonna do let main chat element equal this. All right, and then we're gonna get rid of this. So main chat element dot inner HTML equals jack and shit, and then it's gonna render. So then we're gonna do main chat element dot insert inner to HTML. I think I don't know if I want to clear it. I do want to clear it, but I would rather just append the new stuff. I'm going about this the wrong way, I think. Yeah, we are doing this the wrong way. All right. Yeah, I did this wrong. Because we don't need the whole history. We can just keep adding to the end of the elements. So I probably went about that the wrong way. All right, let's fix this. This was a mistake. Mistakes for me. I was overthinking that. Because we don't want this to re-render because we want to stay at the bottom. So let's just do this. Put him at the top here. We don't need chat history then. I don't know any of the words in German. All right. So essentially what we would do, instead of doing chat push here, we would do, yeah. So, okay, I'm just going to hide this from myself so I can't see it. So we're just going to go, and we're going to hide it. All right. So async function, this doesn't need to be async. Add chat element. So this will only work if it's not completed, right? So if it's not completed, this will just happen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass in message.message like this, right? So we're gonna do we'll do prompt yes or no. So is prompt, and then we'll do message, right? So then what this will end up being is we can just skip that whole thing then at that point, can't we? So we just do before end. So we're just gonna grab this, and then before end, comma, we can do this. And then we can just grab, if it's a prompt, we want this. Yeah, so we want that. And then instead of being value, it's message. Yep. All right, so that's what we do. If is prompt equals true, do this. I did that wrong. Oopsie. Get eepy. Or I've been doing this for a long time, so now my eyes are going cross-eyed. So we'll do like that. Cool. So now we see if it's a prompt. If it's a prompt, we're gonna add before the end of the widget, we're gonna add this. If it's not a prompt, we're gonna do the exact same thing. Do else. We're gonna do the exact same thing, only this isn't a high 2. I think this is just a high. Yep. All right. Every time we saw, I don't want to live without. Oh. All right. So we do add chat elements, and then we do true, comma, message, dot message, and then else if we're in here, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna set it to false. All right. Cool. And then this is gonna have one extra step in it. So if it's not true, we're gonna see if this exists. So we're gonna see if document.querySelector.this thing. So if this thing exists, I did something wrong. So if document.do, I think it's just remove item. I think it's document get element by ID, LLM spam dot remove element. No. Come on. Mount. Thank you. JavaScript, remove element. Dot remove. Okay, I was dot remove. If that exists, remove it, and then we're gonna write the new thing right after it, replacing it essentially. Yeah. So now we should have adding chat elements for true and false. All right. So if I did everything right, I should be able to refresh here. Good morning, Jessica. And then we're gonna full screen this. Hit enter, and then it should add the prompt next after is victory. So that's my prompts, and then she's currently typing, and then that was her response. Yee, we did it. We did it. That took slightly longer than I expected. I do apologize. I'm braining so hard right now. The hardest I have brained in my life. All right. Let's call that a victory. I'm gonna use the bathroom, and then we'll be back in a minute. Sometimes I find when you complete a task that you should just stop and reorient yourself a little bit. So, I do that sometimes. I don't know that I'm gonna make it to 9 today. I don't normally start at noon, so we're doing good though. I think I'm liking the progress I'm seeing so far. So now we're gonna add it. Now we're gonna add the typing portion to it, cause I won't take control. All right. So let's handle typing. So we'll have another function for handling typing. Function handle LLM typing. We're gonna pass in message. If this widget exists, right, which is this guy, we're gonna do this behavior. So, all right. So if this exists, we're gonna add to it, right? So if it doesn't exist, we're gonna make it. So we'll just do if it doesn't exist, we're gonna add it, which is where are you? You are this guy, right? Should just be this guy, or did we have a special one for is typing? Yeah, we have an ID on this one, right? So we do like this to grab him. I wish you would. And then right here, we're gonna do money symbol again, and we're gonna add a message, right? Because we're just gonna pass in message.message here. Yeah, so we'll just do message.message, and then we'll just add it in here. Otherwise, we're gonna grab the ID. We have 2 steps in here, so let's just let ID or typing selector equal that, and then for that we also so then we want home typing selector, and then typing selector dot inner HTML equals message. Yeah, think that'll work. I'm not sure. It may just fail outright, but let's find out. I'm excited. Maybe we're no good for me. All right, so let's refresh it. Good morning, Jessica. So at this point, we should get our prompt back, which should be good morning, Jessica. And then she'll start typing, and it should be sending those messages. Okay, so it's not. It did not send that out. Okay, so we never saw that in there, which means we didn't actually add it to the chatbot. Yeah. So in our chatbot, we are not sending as she types. This is the wrong spot. We want the LLM, right? So in the LLM, we don't have it doing anything for typing, right? So this is prompt, and this is I'm done, but we don't have the one for I'm typing, right? And grab this. So in the one, that should be in here. That should be Luna equals Luna dot blah 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 blah. All right, so in here, inside of this loop, we're basically gonna do hyper, you're pretty and I like ya. Move your body, girl, all night long. When you try to reach the club, your body moves, hypnotize me. Go to. All right, so then we're just gonna do message is Luna response. Should be it, and then we'll add this right here, just so we don't have to deal with that. For me, so if she's typing garbage, we'll just eat it. Hyper, you're such a sky. You guess at me all tonight. Alright, good morning, Jessica. Alright, so now we should get the prompt back. So you smile. Dance for me, dance for me. We kinda have an oops. That is not the, not what I was looking for. That is, none of the things. We also didn't scroll to the bottom. So that's shit. So you see this LLM typing? It should not have spawned multiple of those. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. All right, so let's figure out where we fucked up on that one. So we made an element called LLM is typing. That's back in the... Because we at least got what we wanted, right? Like, we can agree that is technically what I wanted, right? I wanted her to type. So she technically typed. That's for me, man. That's not what I wanted, though. All right, we can agree she definitely typed. All right, so let's go down here. I am in the wrong spot again. I don't know how I keep ending up here. All right, so if it doesn't... Oh, we should have done if it doesn't exist. We did this backwards. If it doesn't exist... No, if it exists, we make the message... Or, first, this should be an else. Yeah, getting tired, apparently. All right, so let typing selector equal that if it's real. Do that, and then the inner HTML equals the message. Yeah, so if this exists, do this. If it doesn't exist... So the other thing is this should have deleted it, right? This should have gotten that element and deleted it, right? LLM typing span. All right, let this equal this. Okay, yeah, let's do it this way. So we'll put this up top, and then this can just be typing selector, right? And then we just scroll to view, and then the inner HTML equals the message. Because that should just, or inner text maybe, dot text content equals message. Maybe that's the problem. Ain't you so much took you on the worst damn nightmare, and I don't care. All right, let's try this again. All right, so we should get what I sent, and then we should get some amount of texting. There we go. So that's the behavior we're looking for. The only thing we'll need to add is a don't fade in for that element, I guess. All right, so that didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. We have a problem, but you can see it kind of worked. Yeah, let's fix the fade in first. Down, cause I wanna burn them down. All right, so this element would just be called... So fading in we wanted, right? Like it only faded in the one time. It's when this guy triggered, that was the issue. All right, let's do that one more time. All right, so now we should get a message back saying how your day's going from us, and then we should see her typing. Yeah, so that blink in, blink out's an issue. That'll need to be resolved. And then that color thing, which I think we can get rid of the color thing by taking out color out of the prompts configuration. So if we look in here, not here, the LLM itself, I think if we take color out, it might fix it. I think this, if we remove this, it might fix it. I don't know. No, it's not gonna fix that. That's her misbehaving. And I have a fix for that too. Let me find that. I think I already wrote a fix for that. I might not have a cleanup for that, but I feel like I had. That's just not a behavior I'm expecting, you know what I mean? Well, let's look at this prompt again, right? One more time. All right, so chat is locked, and there's her talking. Okay, so the whole prompt didn't get eaten, so we need to look at that first. I don't know why she would double type that, but here we are. So let's fix that first, because that's annoying. And then changing this color didn't make a difference, unfortunately. All right, so let's look. All right. I don't know. I don't... So this is part of the character description and prompt, and more prompt, right? So we're supposed to be filtering that out. But for whatever reason... Look away, I'm addicted to your smile. Thanks for me, never stop, girl. Alright, we're just gonna do this. Alright, let's just do this. Maybe it's replace all? Maybe she's misbehaving and retyping it several times, and that's why we're not catching it. And then we're just gonna put this whole thing in here. Alright, try this again. See if maybe replace all. Maybe she's repeating herself. So let's refresh. Alright. Hyper, you're pretty and I like ya. Oh, we got a girl all night long. Yeah, you see that? She's responding with garbage sometimes. Which is the kind of the behavior I've come to expect. And it could be these settings too, we don't know. We haven't played with it any. Anime. Alright, let's ask her what her favorite anime is, and let's see if it adds it. There we go, there she's talking again. That blink in's an issue, that we're gonna have to deal with. So, that should be an easy fix. So, let's go back to that then. Let's deal with the fade in. So in here, what we'll do, love, I'm feeling the beat. Alright, so in the chat controller here, this hi message for final, let's see, LLM completed false. We'll do hi, no fade. Yeah. So then if we go to index.js, or not JS, CSS, we should have a high in here, which I think is just at the end. I don't know why I called it high, but whatever. All right, so high 2 has a fade animation in it. So we're essentially going to add a high no fade. And then we're just going to take everything out of here that isn't the fade. So we're going to take the non-fade behavior out. And then high 2 is going to be part of high no fade. So then we don't have those settings in here anymore. So now it'll still have the same styling, but now the text won't fade when she's done talking, right? In theory. All right, let's see how she responds with that. So I don't know if we want the prompt to go through. That's not the behavior I want. I oopsed. That's technically what I wanted, but not technically what I wanted. All right. I wanted high 2, or I wanted high 1, not high 2. That's my mistake. All right, so let's put high 2 back where it goes. And then we'll grab everything from high, put that down here, and then change that to high. All right, let's try that again. Do believe in magic. Oh, oops. No, we made a mistake somewhere. All right, one more time. CSS is magic, bro. What is your favorite CSS style? All right. So I don't know if when the user hits enter, we should put that in there, but I think because of the queue, we don't want to do that. That's not an answer, but that was an answer. You see, it didn't blink that time. We may not want to set this to blur. We may just want to set it so it has no value when you hit enter. So you see how that faded in and then didn't fade out? We'll have to play with how she responds, bro. There is a way, I think there's another way that I set it up so that if it was anything, if it got to the first semicolon, it would see that and then eat it. But I think it ended up giving her non-answer sometimes. So we'll have to play with that. That's whatever. Move your body, girl, all night long. Hyper, pretty and I like you. I'll be my girl all night long. Your body moves, hypnotize me, gotta love it. All right, so now that we got that working, let's go into here and let's get rid of the rest of this. Let's see. All right, so this whole section can now just go. We want the div because we need the ID, but we don't need anything to be here because we're handling that in JavaScript. So let's refresh that one more time and see what that looks like. There we go. So now the chat widget's empty. I don't know if we want placeholder here or not. Addicted to your smile. Dance for me, everything I try will give my soul. Put your hands up. Let me see you shake that ass to hate me. I want that juice on your lips. All right. So at that point, I made myself dizzy. All right. So let's put, what is the thing that gets deleted, right? Because this is going to get deleted every time. No, it won't get deleted on the initial load. We'll need to kill it on the initial load too. So let's go into the chat controller again. We'll put a placeholder in here that has the same ID as this right here. So we'll do this. And then basically every time prompt fires, prompt will just automatically destroy. Prompt will do the same thing as this does. Yeah, so we'll just do this. This might not work. So when prompt spawns, it'll remove that element. And then we'll just grab an element. We'll grab this, and then in the index where we just deleted that, we'll add this, and then basically this will be, good morning. I am excited to talk to you. Yeah. All right. So now, when we load this, we'll already have something here, but when this loads, it's going to put what we typed and then erase what she had to say. So now we've deleted that placeholder. But I love it. All right. So that's that. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, we'll have to play with her responses, which is half of what this is at this point. But she's now responding in real time using the graphics card. So we are back to her being a chatbot for the most part. So that's good at least. We have something. So she's a chatbot now, and you can see here the chat's no longer locked. So we know that the lock is working properly, and we know she answers. We may want to change the behavior of this chat box. And then we don't know what happens if you fill up this chat box. So that's the other thing, is we don't know if this will scroll to the end when she starts typing. So we're going to need to fill this up. You are the one I ever wanted. What are you up to today? I just want to see, because the idea was if she types enough that we'd be at the bottom of the thing. And then, can we fill up your queue? You know what I mean? So we should now have 2 in the queue. So we should get another one after this. There we go. So it is scrolling automatically like we wanted. But when I got my new prompt in, it didn't scroll to the bottom. I don't know what this is about. That second one in the queue didn't go through. We're still locked. So it never exited the lock. Oh, she's not done talking. Okay, she broke. Yeah. So we'll set a thing up so that this RN thing doesn't happen. So she's freaking out right now. Which was probably a double feed. If I had to guess, this is a double feed. So we broke that. Stop, please. Thank you. All right, she broke, but it technically did what we wanted. Technically. All right, let's fix that. Let's add the anti-freak out, I guess. Or let's look at our queue and see what happened there. This is where if we had logging, that would be very helpful. But she'll lose it sometimes like this. This is a normal freak out. Why she responds like this sometimes is beyond me. So anytime she starts making a list, this will happen. So you see where these RNs are? We can set it so she can't do that, but that gives her one sentence answers, right? So that's the trade-off at that point. But as you can see, she lost her shit, essentially. So what we can do is we can set up a thing where we check the string before and see if she's repeating herself. So there's a couple of options to stop this from happening. But we have now witnessed it. We noticed the scroll thing works. Maybe it'll be your months and fucked up till we can't remember last night. Alright, can you see me? Am I moving? Or is this crashed? Okay, there we go. I apologize. The bot crashed everything. That was great. It's great. Also, these symbols shouldn't have been able to come through either, so we'll need to put some stuff in there. Let's get fucked up till we can't remember last night. You're alive when you're here with me. You're right when you're here with me. You're bartender. Let's get fucked up and remember last night. Alright, well, either way, I would call that a success on, like, the fundamental level. I wouldn't call it a success total. Obviously, there's some issues there. Let's see. So we can see here, she responds. Let's make the screen smaller so we can see if the auto scroll works. Let's do it like that. So the thing I'm not sure on is right now we exit and reset this block. So I'm not sure. Oh, we're still locked though. No, we're not. I don't know. Right when you're here with me. See how it stopped scrolling though? It didn't scroll to the bottom, so we'd need to set that scroll to the bottom feature on H1 as well. So let's do that real quick. Alright, so where's the scroll to the bottom feature here, right? So this is her typing. Should fall. Me, your bartender. Fucked until we can't remember last night. Alright, so we'll do that with all of these. Oh, these don't have IDs though. So this guy doesn't have an ID, so he probably won't work. I guess we need to assign IDs to each span then, huh? Can I get a whoop, 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 whoop? Show me what you got. Show me what you got. I took tequila and do some body shots. Alright, so here's what we do. This is an easy fix, right? So we let new ID equal new date dot get time squiggles, and then we just do. So now that we have that, we can do ID equals or a paradise in hell. We do new ID, and then outside of new ID, we do this. So then we do document dot get element by ID. We pass in new ID, and then if new ID exists, we'll just do this. There we go. All right. So that one's good, and then we'll do the same thing like this. We forgot a squiggle. There we go. So essentially, we just add it at the end. And then we'll basically assign new IDs every time. So in here, we'll do the exact same thing. So we'll do a new ID at the top, and then an if at the bottom. And then we'll scroll to the bottom in case it's a new element. Yeah. Let's see if that works. Bring it on back now. Bring it on back to life. All right. Let's refresh. Good morning, Jessica. Swag limousine. All right. We should probably stop the typing from being in the console, but I need to see it, so. Sorry. Alright, so it's scrolling to the bottom. And then she ended with giggles, so that's fine. And then, alright. And then that prompt should pop up and scroll past the prompt. There we go. Yep. Okay, yep. So it's not quite. Can we? All right, so this is the question. So this is our main div, right? All right, so let's scroll back to the top. I have a idea I want to try real quick. So if we scroll back up to the top, all right, so we scroll back to the top. If we do document dot query selector, I may have overthought this. Hashtag this dot scroll into view, and then it was, what were the settings? Smooth and end. Will this scroll to the end of this widget? Like if I do this, right? I'll just make you want to stop right now. Nope. Okay, so it did not, because it's already here, right? Yeah. So it'll just be a little over, a little under. It'll be like this, which I think is fine. I think being like halfway in the middle, like that, that's probably fine. Because there's just a margin at the bottom of this widget to deal with this overlap here. So it should be fine. All right, so then we should get that back. Yeah, there we go. So it's just scrolling. It's fine enough, right? Because the block's still there. Yeah. And no matter what I do, I feel the same with or without you. So we're gonna set this up so that this parse message doesn't spam if it's the bot typing. I don't like that. That's filling up the chat with a bunch of garbage I don't need to look at. So let's do that real quick. Try this, and then if parsed message dot message type does not equal LLM typing, I do feel the pain with or without you. Alright, so if parse message does not include this bullshit, I do feel the pain. Alright, so if parse message does not equal typing, please stop spamming my console. Okay, so one more time. Now if this works, there we go. Huzzah! And now I'm not getting spammed with a bunch of stuff about, I'm not getting spammed by the console about typing. Alright, all day and fucking all night. SSE in LLM, let's find that. So that's the other one we want to grab. That's this one. Alright, so if SSE, or if message dot message type equals LLM is typing, I don't wanna live without burgers and fries. Shake your booty higher as design. Last it's burger time. Cause it's burger time. If I'm hungry or not. Alright, so we're gonna grab LLM typing. If that equals that. If message type does not equal LLM, or does not equal message typing, you can console.log that it did a thing. Okay, let's make this less messy in here. Let's save and then clear that out. That's good. All right. Then I will leave you for an apple pie. All right. So now we should get that response back, and then she shouldn't be spamming the console. Yeah. So typing still did do that. That's not. All right. So where are you being consoled from? All right. So where's that? So that didn't fire. I don't know where this is coming from. All right. Let's look through our console.logs real quick. Clean this up because I don't need that spammed. All right. So we didn't see that one. All right. So is that in here? Nah, you're not. It's fine. That's fine. Okay. So it's not in there. So it must be in the app itself. Is the app getting the messages? Let's see. Those are discrepancies. It's the Wheel of Flame. What up, Travis? Okay, here we go. This is where it got it. All right, so we want to do the same thing, and then so we don't see it essentially, because I don't need it spamming that it's typing. We're gonna see it type. All right. So good morning, Jessica, and then so that I want logged. That's important. And then there's her typing, and there's her typing in the console, and then there's all the messages. Okay, so that's the behavior we're looking for right there. Yeah. All right. So that's what we sent. This is what she sent back. Perfect. I'm doing pretty good. It looks like we got the LLM working. It's a little buggy. I added a bunch of movement to my AI, or my model, so now I can dance. And her tail wags. Makes me a little dizzy though. So depending on where I'm looking will depend on how the bot moves, but I have more movement now. I tried to get the hands to work. I tried to get the hands to work, but the webcam capture just did not. It was slow, laggy, and then if I put my hands down, her hands would just clip through her whole body, and it was like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So, I broke down and bought the Leap Motion Pro, so we'll see if that'll at least get my hand movements. That's the goal at this point. I sir. So that's where we're at right now. I'm going to take a short breather to figure out what I want to do next. I'm not sure what I want to work on next now. She is technically texting. I gotta think about it. Ugh. But I've been doing this for, what, 6.5 hours now? That's pretty good. Before the one crash. And then she freaked out and crashed she crashed Twitch a tiny bit, a little bit ago. She, lost her mind and locked up the machine. But yeah, as you can see here, she'll actually respond. So I type in there, and then the console will come back with once it's ready to deal with my message, it'll add it here, and then her response there. Generally, if she's typing, there'll be more typing, but there wasn't a whole lot. Name your favorite anime. I don't know if hitting enter, if we should just have the prompt added to the text, but I have a queuing system, so I don't want to do that. So you can see her typing, and then when she's done typing, it'll, yeah, once she's done typing, it stops, essentially. And you'll see this unlock itself up here. Is anyone up? Is anyone up? Then I can change the settings for that stuff. Right, so now with that new prompt, that probably reset the server, so I probably have to refresh the page. Yeah, unfortunately. I'd have to run it. Oh, it didn't. Yeah. So this is her response. So this is just a placeholder. But you can see that it remembered my config for this, which is cool. Anyone up? Is anyone up? Right. So there we go. There we are. It was nothing personal. So we're looking good. We definitely have a working chatbot. Yeah. Well, minimum viable cat AI thing. So we'll need to add some anti-freak out in here, which we may just have to trial and error our way through. Lost my ability. All right. So let's look at our to-dos real quick and see if we've knocked any of them out today. Shut the fuck up. It was nothing personal. Alright, so we can definitely say that LLM is typing works, right? I don't know why that's there. I think that would be another lock, but we can see it there, so we don't need it in the state machine. So I'm still gonna cross that one off. Well, I guess technically the lock. Alright, there we go. We'll just mark that one off as done. Let's see. What else do we got? What we got? We talked about logging. We're not doing it yet. No memory. Clear history we don't have. That's probably not going to happen now I'm looking at it. Let's see. So we're going to have to deal with the memory, and then we're going to have to deal with the anti-freak out. We'll probably need to do the anti-freak out before we deal with the memory. Queuing system. So we need to look at the queuing system too, because we set it up, but we don't actually know if it works. She freaked out. So let's look at the queuing system and see if I actually set that up. Because I don't think we actually did. I think we're just surpassing it right now. That's forever, forever. Alright, so that should be in the LLM itself. So we have our queuing system. So let's see. Yeah, so here's our queue handler if it's not frozen. If it is frozen, here's the other one. Alright, so what I'm guessing is this fired twice. I don't think this waited, essentially. No, that doesn't make sense. Alright, so let's make sure everything's running. Alright, so we should get these queued up now. So the lock is still locked, but we should get another one of these. And then the lock should be still locked, and then she should response again. Okay, so we can argue, and then the chat's unlocked. I would argue that we have a locking system for the chatbot. Can we agree that we definitely have a lock, and it seems to be working, and we have a queuing system, and it seems to be working? I think we can agree that that's the thing that's happening. Yeah. The only behavior I don't like that I want to change right now that I'm looking at it is this thing. It's losing focus every time you hit enter, and what I actually wanted to do is just clear the text and stay focused. So let's set that up, because that feels like a must now. Alright, so that would be inside of the controller, I think. The controller controls the behavior of that item. Let's see. Alright, yeah, so here's that blur. let's see if we just comment that blur out if that behavior continues. Because if we don't exit this, that would be nice, right? So okay, so that wasn't okay. So we would want okay. So the only thing I can see is when we hit enter. Let's inspect this real quick. This moved us down a line, which I didn't like. That doesn't make any sense because I don't see anything in there. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's just refresh the whole page again. Good morning, Jessica. Yeah, so that's the only thing I don't like. How are you doing? Yeah, I don't like that it starts you back at the bottom or with this big of a space. Is there a space above this or is it just acting that way? No, so there's a new line in here. So that I don't like. What is this? Copy. I think that's just an enter. So let's set it so text box on enter, not add new line, please. No, I want to prevent let's see. JavaScript. Okay, e dot prevent default. Okay. You know that makes sense that would be the actual answer. That's fair. All right. So back here, if first thing we're going to do is prevent defaults. Yeah, let's try that. See if that fixes that. Good morning, Luna. Oh, wait. Okay, you know, it just, I wasn't paying attention. Face man, got a rockin' on my back. Universe is down for my rave attack. Yeah, so that's the behavior we're looking for. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, so that was an easy fix. I like that. So I guess the only thing I could see here, when we send a message, there's that delay. Should we put something here that basically shows that something's happening? Like responding or like a blinking says Jessica is typing or something, like as a placeholder for a second before your prompt comes back in. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we want to add something, right? So if I type something, like, should I put something there that says it's texting, or like, should I notify the user? I don't know what that is. Like, should we tell the user it's thinking, or should they just know? Right? I don't. Because the other option is just to put the prompt on the screen that they typed, since it's always going to match. But there's a queuing system, so I don't want to overwrite the queuing system. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I'll just add it as a note, maybe something to fix. I'm getting tired. Let's see. Logging button, state machine, check. Want to see her typing? We can argue that that is done. So we can say that's done for sure. We can argue that we're definitely scrolling to the bottom as well. I can argue that that's done. Alright, so let's put this as a tentative, as a question mark. Tell the user their prompt was successful. Like, I don't know what that would look like, but I would want something here maybe that just says like processing with like a blinking or thinking or prompt received. I don't know how you would notify here. Let's see. So we don't have that. On the state machine, we have one locking variable, but we're gonna have to play with that because right now it's right there. I think I hit a slash on that. Let me refresh. All right. So yeah, so I'm not sure if we need to do that because obviously it's gonna queue up in here. But if you stack a bunch, right, it wouldn't tell you anyways. So maybe it's fine. But you see that response time? That's pretty decent for what it is, right? Like there's a tiny delay, but it feels almost instant. It's close enough, you know what I mean? It's like 10 seconds maybe. We say no loss in the house. Stop investing, even loss. So we need logging function, some memory, chat history, the fancy stuff. I think I'm done. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I think this is a good stopping point. I'll see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Monday. No, not Monday. Tuesday. I'll see you Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay, bye.